Hello everyone, welcome back to Hannah's Happy Home and Happy New Year 2026. What a blessing it always is to welcome in another new year. I'm easing back into posting on YouTube with this day in my life video and sharing what routines I'll be continuing and starting fresh in 2026. One thing I learned to really appreciate in 2025 is a slow morning, and I'm continuing that into 2026 as well, just waking up 30 minutes before the rest of the house to have some quiet time in the peace of the sunrise before the house wakes up. You're getting to see a peek at my little morning routine. I start the morning with a cup of hot lemon water, step outside, have my devotions, and then I love to use an ice roller on my face. I do some chores. The kids might start waking up at this point. Levi woke up. He's usually the first one to be awake, and we'll have some snuggle time, rocking on the rocking chair. He wanted me to play a little game with him. After that, I did head outside to help the boys with chores. Jalen was in recovery from a third surgery. Unfortunately, the day after Christmas, he had to go in for another surgery, and this was on his femur because his femur was still a non-fusion. So he was laying around recovering, getting around on crutches. He is doing a lot better, and once he's recovered from this final surgery, Lord willing, it will just be smooth sailing from here. After that, I drank my AG1, made the boys breakfast, and then I headed back to get ready for the day. And there usually isn't much cleaning that needs to be done first thing in the morning because I try to do most of my cleaning in the evening before we go to bed. But we had some family over for supper the night before, and it was a pretty late night, and so I'm going to be cleaning up from that here this morning. I didn't show myself having breakfast, but I did have eggs for breakfast as well. Something I was doing in 2025 and I'll be continuing this year is to always be sure that I eat breakfast before I drink coffee in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It's been hard to get going this morning just because it's such a cloudy, gloomy, cold day. I haven't gotten much sleep the last couple days, so the inspiration is a little low this morning, but I got ready for the day, made myself a coffee. I'm starting to feel a little more inspired, and the first thing I want to do this morning is to put this dining room back together, get the table scooted back, move the chairs back out to the back porch. We had a lot of fun with some family last night. We had 8 adults and 8 kids here for supper. So I'm just going to be spending the morning getting the house reset. After that, I have dishes, need to clean up the kitchen. I want to mop the floors. So I'll take you along as I do some homemaking today, and then the second half of this video will be my end of the year recap, my plans for the new year, just kind of a little bit of a life update as well. So stay tuned for that. We've been hosting quite a bit the last 2 months, and I've found that the more you host, the easier it gets. If you don't host a lot, it can seem really overwhelming to invite a bunch of people over, but once you've done it a couple times, you get more comfortable doing it, and you can keep it casual. You could have everybody bring a dish to make it a little bit easier. It's just always fun to get together with people and to open up your home and fill it with friends and family, especially over Christmas time. It's just really special. I'm taking you along on my day today, so you're kind of getting to see what our daily routine looks like. But honestly, each day looks different. It just depends on what we're doing that day. We don't really have a specific daily routine that we stick to every single day because We may have to go somewhere that day. It all depends if I'm filming or editing and just what's going on that week. Now there is a couple things that we do every single day, like we homeschool every morning from Tuesday to Friday, and then you got to see what my little morning routine looks like that I do each morning. And then I also have my daily cleaning routine and then my weekly cleaning routine, which I'll touch on here in a little bit.
Just give me my corner. I can't.
Hey, if you go outside.
It's a coaster.
Yeah, but it's really cold.
All of these Legos out. I have to wear this coat.
Good job. Okay, so there was 8 kids playing in this room last night, so it is pretty messy. The boys are going to work on this while I'm cleaning up the kitchen before we have lunch today. We definitely don't have as many toys in here as we used to have. I got rid of quite a few, but I think when I do my New Year reset, I want to get rid of even more. Maybe just put them in one tub or a box and then put it into storage and see if we actually need this many toys. The main thing that kids always love to play with is this train set. I'll link it down below. I got this on Amazon a couple of years ago. My boys just said, except for Legos. Legos is definitely the top favorite toy in this room. Stay tuned because the second half of this video is going to be just kind of a sit down life update, and then I'll also be sharing a 2025 recap and then also sharing what 2026 is going to look like, what content I'm planning to share. So stay tuned for all of that here at about the halfway point in today's video. As you can see, I got something new here in the living room. Both of these ottomans are from Article. They are a green velvet and they have storage inside as well. So I love that they are multi-purpose. We can keep blankets, toys, books, different things like that inside. They also make a great footrest or great place to sit. The kids love to lay on here. It's a great place to kneel and have devotions first thing in the morning, watch the sunrise. I've just been wanting 2 ottomans for these chairs for a while, just so whoever sits in these chairs could put their feet up, and it's just extra seating in here. You could scoot them around to different areas. So I will have the link for these down below. I do have footage of when I unboxed these and set them up, so I'll go ahead and show that here. And then after I show that footage, I'll get started on cleaning the kitchen, heating up lunch. I want to make some lemon bars and just get a few more things done today. For lunch today, I'm heating up leftover green chili chicken enchiladas. I made these last night for our company and I had about 1.5 pans left over. Last night it was enchiladas, rice, refried beans, chips and salsa, and then I had some different toppings like lettuce, cilantro, salsa, lime wedges, guacamole. So we had the full spread and we do have a lot of leftovers, so I don't have to make lunch or supper today. I'm just going to reheat these here on the stove. We actually don't have a microwave right now. Our microwave broke about 2 months ago and we've been getting along just fine without it. The only time that I miss it is when I want to soften butter. Okay, so now I want to share with you what my cleaning routine looked like last year and the cleaning routine that I'll be doing here in 2026, and then also my weekly cleaning routine as well, my laundry routine. I do want to do a detailed video about my weekly cleaning routine, and I would love to have some printables or some type of sheet that you could follow and just like check mark off stuff as you're cleaning. But for my daily cleaning routine, we start off in the morning by making our bed. I have made it a habit with the boys to make their beds as soon as they wake up in the morning. They make their beds, have their quiet time, praying, reading their Bible, and then they'll come out and have breakfast and start their day. And then I always like to make my bed first thing in the morning. I haven't done so good with that the last couple of months, but I am trying to stick to it here in the new year, because making your bed first thing in the morning is just a great way to start off your day. It just kind of jumpstarts your day, and it will help you to be able to continue picking up and maintaining the house throughout the day, because that's honestly my daily cleaning routine, is just picking up the house throughout the day, trying to maintain it, stay on top of it. That way it's easy to clean throughout the week. So after the beds are made, we usually don't have to do much cleaning, because we'll do our cleaning the night before. Before we go to sleep, we like to do a cleanup of the house. We'll wash all the dishes, and you can have the kids help. You can set a timer, and just doing that quick pickup will make your next morning go so much better, especially if you have a busy day. Just to wake up to a clean house is so nice. So after each meal, we'll just kind of clear off the kitchen counters, and then at the end of the day, we clean out the sink, load up the dishwasher, wash any dishes. And on Monday is when I do laundry, and then on Fridays, I usually do my weekly cleaning routine. Sometimes it's on Saturdays. I'll go into more detail about that in a future video, but it's things that you would do once a week, like washing bedding, mopping the floors, vacuuming the bedrooms, cleaning bathrooms, just different things like that I do once a week. And some weeks I get to do a lot of cleaning, and some weeks I don't have time for much cleaning, so it just depends on the week. I've really been into health and fitness over the last 2 years. I love working out, and I realized that it all starts here in the kitchen, what you're consuming every day. I was definitely slacking over the holidays though, so now that it's a new year, I'm excited to reset and just get back on track. And something that I take every day is AG1, and I couldn't recommend this enough, especially if you're trying to start a new health journey here at the beginning of the year. I have a new offer for you today that includes a free duffel bag, so stay tuned for that. And with just 1 scoop of AG1, you're getting 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food source ingredients, probiotics. This helps with energy, gut health and digestion, stress and mood balance, brain and nerve function, immune health. I actually have different flavors now as well, but I still just love the original flavor with some ice and a squeeze of lemon. They do have AGZ as well, which I love drinking at night. Okay, so I'll quickly show you how I mix this up here. If you think about how many pills you would have to take to get everything that's in this 1 scoop, a multivitamin, a probiotic, so many different pills. I like to add a few ice cubes, and then sometimes I'll just chug it like this, but if I want to take the extra time, I love it with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice, and then we'll just shake that up. AG1 is the #1 health drink, and it's a really easy thing you can do for your health every single day in 2026, and it's also the perfect time to try AG1 because I think this is one of the best offers that I have been able to offer you guys. So if you click my link, then you can get the free welcome kit, which is the canister, the scoop, and the shaker bottle. You will also get an AG1 flavor sampler, so you can try all of the flavors from AG1, and then you'll also get a free AG1 duffel bag. The duffel bags are limited quantity, so if you want to try AG1, just go and order right now so you can get one of those duffel bags. So go and try it out, let me know what you think, and a big thank you to AG1 for being a long-term sponsor of Hannah's Happy Home. So the second half of today's video is going to be a little sit-down chat, and I don't do these very often. I thought this would be a great way to start off the new year, and I did this last year as my first video back after the new year. I will start off with a little life update and just kind of recap 2025. The day that I'm filming this video is January 2nd, so the new year has just started. And honestly, I woke up on January 1st and it was kind of a relief, like, okay, 2025 is over with. We were ready for a new year. It was definitely the year of going through a storm, especially the first half of the year. But even when you're going through a storm, there is still so many blessings that you can be grateful for. And looking back on the year, Yes, it was a hard year and we're so glad that it's over, but yet there was so many blessings sprinkled in throughout the year. I'm sure there's quite a few of you who have gone through a storm this last year or who are currently going through a hard time, probably a lot harder time than we had this past year. So I'm praying for you, and I pray that that storm will pass, and I pray that you will just have a wonderful, blessed year filled with peace and happiness. I would love for you to share down below in the comments, what is some of your biggest blessings from 2025? My biggest blessing from 2025 is my husband, that he's still here with me. He's almost fully recovered. He can walk. And there's just so many blessings, but that is definitely the top one that stands out. So let's get into this quick recap of 2025. So I started off the year with my whole house declutter, which this year I'm probably going to do something a little bit different, but that's always a great way to start off the new year. I also shared a video that just kind of compiled the last 5 years of renovating our home, because 2025 was our 5-year anniversary of owning our home, and when we started the renovations, I cannot believe that we have lived here now for almost 6 years. So that was a really special video to make, just to be able to go back and see everything that we've done to this house in one video. I shared a lot of decorating, organizing, homemaking in 2025, and then at the beginning of February in 2025 is when my husband had his accident and our whole world completely changed. And the first half of 2025 was just kind of spent in survival mode, and it was just taking life one day at a time and just completely focusing on Jalen's recovery. That was the hardest time of our life. So because of that, for the first half of 2025, I just kind of did a lot of homemaking videos, home organization videos, decorating, cleaning. I started doing a lot of food restock videos, which you guys really did enjoy this last year, but I don't think I'll be filming those in 2026. I think I'll be doing something a little bit different. I also worked on a lot of landscaping and outdoor projects this past summer, which I probably overdid it a little bit with those projects. It ended up being a lot more work than I thought it was going to. I set up some garden beds, transplanted like a whole fence row of bamboo, just did a lot of different projects outside, and honestly I think it was just very therapeutic for me to stay busy. I painted our bathroom in the laundry room a very moody color. In July I did a refresh to our back porch, which that was really fun. We added some new light fixtures, some new rugs. I deep cleaned the porch, did a little bit of decorating, just kind of got the space completely finished. In July I also added some updates to our dining room, adding a new light fixture and then a tree in the corner. So happy with those updates. We're still really loving that light fixture. And then in August is when we added that new vanity to the bathroom that's over here in our laundry room. We also added a new faucet, new sink. So that bathroom is completely finished now. And then throughout the rest of the summer and the fall, I did cleaning, decorating, some more home landscaping. And then for our 13th anniversary at the beginning of September, we were able to go to the Oregon coast. I actually booked this trip like a year ago, and I just kept the booking even after his accident, just believing and hoping we'd still be able to go on this trip. And it was just at a perfect time just to be able to get away for a couple days after what he had been through that year. It was very relaxing, and I feel like he really started to improve a lot after that trip. We were able to ride horses on the beach, which was just such a bucket list for me, and then also Jalen as well had such an amazing time. We explored the rest of the Oregon coast. So like 2 or 3 years ago, we had explored the first half of the Oregon coast with the boys. And then on this trip, we were able to continue exploring the second half of the coast. And the Oregon coast is definitely one of our favorite places. It is so beautiful. Then at the end of September, we gave our boys' bedroom a little refresh, adding a new bunk bed, some more organization and storage. And all of that new storage and organization and layout has been working out so well in the boys' bedroom. At the beginning of October, it was my first time hosting a baby shower at my house, which was really fun. I did it for my sister-in-law, which was expecting a baby girl. And so the theme was flowers, lots of pinks, purples, greens. It was so fun to set all of that up, and we were able to fill the back porch with so many amazing family and friends. So it was really special to just have a get together with all of them. We had some amazing food. And then later in October, we did a house project in our bedroom. Jalen arched that opening. We added wallpaper. I know a lot of you noticed in that video that the wallpaper was upside down. And honestly, we rushed this project so much. That was such a busy week. Jalen was getting ready to leave. We were trying to get so many different things done, trying to rush and finish up this little nook so that I could have the video done because he had to leave. We had a lot of things on our mind, and halfway through putting up the wallpaper, I stepped back and I told Jalen, I was like, I think it is upside down. Are you kidding me right now? And we both kind of panicked, but then Jalen was like, you know what? It's fine. We can't pull it off the wall. We don't have time to go back to Lowe's and get more wallpaper. The type of wallpaper that it is, we thought it looked like you could have it either way. And I think it looks fine either way. But we are going to have to pull it down because it is starting to come off the walls. I don't know what it is about the walls in this nook. Some of the walls in our house we can do peel and stick wallpaper, and then some walls the peel and stick wallpaper just doesn't work, and that is the case for this nook. It is coming off the walls, so we have to take it down anyway, and we'll just put up a permanent wallpaper. So stay tuned for that project here in the future. It was just kind of one of those live and learn moments. We're not perfect, we make mistakes, and we are just learning too as we're doing house projects. End of October, I did switch Levi's room and our guest bedroom, which was also like our storage room, our workout room. We had some computers in there. So I completely cleared out that room and started to set it up as Levi's bedroom. And it was also going to be a guest room as well. After that video, we did an extreme declutter and organize of our outdoor storage spaces. So the room here on our carport, our shop, we just decluttered a lot of items and got everything organized. And then my next video was part 2 of switching those rooms and just working on Levi's bedroom. And now I know ever since then you guys have been waiting for the final part in that room makeover and to see Levi's room / the guest room completely finished. And I was planning to have that video up before the end of the year, but we had a problem with the furniture. The dresser went out of stock at the last minute, and so now the dresser is not getting here until the end of January. So if the dresser gets here in time, I have it in the schedule to post Levi's bedroom makeover, like the final reveal, it completely finished on February the 3rd. So stay tuned for that video. We did get some of the other furniture, the bed is put together, I've got the curtains, I've got most of the decor. So we're finishing up the room and that will be going live soon. Then middle of November, I decorated for Christmas 2025. I feel like a lot of you might have missed my latest food restock video, so I will go ahead and put that as a card here on the screen if you want to go watch it after this video. There's a ton of food prep and meal ideas in that video, freezer meal ideas. Thank you all so much for all of your support on my YouTube channel this year, for watching my videos, liking them, commenting, subscribing. We just appreciate each of you so much, and I hope you know how much you mean to our family. All of your sweet comments that you leave on the videos, everybody who said they were praying for Jalen, he read through all of those comments as well, and we're just so grateful to have this amazing community. I'll also briefly go over like a personal life recap of the year and just touch on a couple of things, kind of just barely scratch the surface of everything that Jalen went through the first half of this year. But then there was also just so many other things that kept happening after that. One thing on top of another, like when it rains, it pours, you know? But each of those things turned into a testimony. So like I said, blessings sprinkled in throughout the storm. And then in June, I was able to fly back to Indiana to visit my family for a couple days. Got to take the boys to a youth event back there. So that was really special to spend some time with my family. We got a new batch of chickens. We've been working on growing that business. So starting in July for the second half of the year, we welcomed a new niece or nephew pretty much like every other month, which has been such a blessing this year. We are all loving, snuggling the new babies. So our first little trip as a family this year was at the end of July. We took the boys up to Phoenix for 2 days to go to Legoland and also to go to the aquarium. It was still a little difficult for Jalen to get around, so we didn't want to take a big trip yet. We just decided to do something local. And then in August, my parents came out for a week and got to stay with us. We had a really wonderful time with them. Then beginning of September, like I said, Jalen and I got to go to the Oregon coast. On October 3rd of this year, Jalen was able to walk his first full mile. And then, like I said, we had the baby shower. Kyle got braces, which is crazy. Our boys are just growing up so fast. I can't believe he's gonna be a teenager in 2 years. And then end of October, we took the boys up to the Grand Canyon. That was a really fun trip. The boys had never seen the Grand Canyon, and we hadn't been there since our honeymoon, so it was really cool to see it again. We stayed at Under Canvas, which was such a neat experience. We got to take the train to the Grand Canyon. We explored the town of Williams, and then for Thanksgiving, we got to go back to Pennsylvania for a week and spend time with my family. I grew up in Pennsylvania for the first 18 years of my life. That's where basically all of my family is. My grandparents, my aunts, uncles, cousins, my brother and his wife live there in Pennsylvania, so we stayed with them for the week. Then on the first week of December, our youngest little boy, Levi, turned 4 years old. I cannot believe that he's 4 years old. Like, he is still kind of my baby. He's so grown up now, and we are just enjoying every moment with him. Then beginning of December, Jalen and I got to work together and volunteer at a church youth event, which was such a special weekend. We had an awesome time. Middle of December, Jalen had an x-ray and an appointment with his surgeon. That's when we found out that his femur was still a non-fusion, and so the surgeon wanted to do a surgery. So today is a week since that surgery, but the recovery is going so smoothly this time. There was a lot of blessings this year. It was, even though it was our hardest year yet, it was still a wonderful year. And we are looking forward to seeing what is in store in 2026. I took quite a bit of time to kind of prep for this upcoming year. We always like to have a meeting together and just kind of plan out our goals for our business and then personal goals as well. I also like to just take some personal time to make my own personal goals. This year, to do that, I just went up into the mountain for a couple of hours, hiked up to a quiet spot. I had my Bible, and I just did a lot of praying, reading my Bible, and I cannot recommend that enough. I took my notebook along and was just writing down different things that stood out to me in the Bible, different inspiration that I was getting. I am going to be continuing to film YouTube in 2026. I do have quite a few different ideas and projects that we want to work on. First off, we do need to finish up Levi's room / the guest room, and then we also need to do a room makeover in that other room. We want to get our patio, like our front patio, completely finished this year, so I think I have that in the schedule for March. I want to work on our hot tub area because I think all of that wood is going to have to be replaced. I'm planning to do even more organization and decorating and all the things that you enjoy seeing here on my channel. If there's anything in particular that you're wanting me to film for 2026, you can share that down below in the comments or share your favorite videos that I film. I think our goal for this year is to just kind of get our home and property completely finished, and then we're also going to be putting a lot of work into our chicken farm and trying to upgrade everything. We are starting to get to the point where we need more land to expand the chicken farm, so I'm not sure how many more years we will be able to be at this property before we need to move somewhere that has more land. That's just something that we're praying about. We'll see what the future holds. I wanted to read a couple of verses that I wrote down from my quiet time, just verses that I'm taking into 2026. This verse is from Proverbs chapter 3, and it is verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So that's just what I'm taking into 2026, just trusting in the Lord and knowing that he will direct our paths. I hope that you each had a wonderful 2025, a wonderful Christmas, New Year's, and I pray that your 2026 will be filled with blessings and that you'll have peace and happiness and just a wonderful year. Thank you each so much for watching. Thank you for being here in 2025 and now continuing to be here in 2026. We appreciate each of you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, blessed week. Bye.